Hey, what's going on everybody? Scott Hilse here with you today, coming here with you live from Miami, Florida. Before I start this video, be sure to subscribe and turn post notifications on, because I don't know if you know this, but I answer any and all questions within the first hour of every single video. So if you have the post notifications on, you can ask me a question within the first hour and I'll respond. So it's extremely beneficial to do that. And be sure to hit like. I'm going to do some very interesting, valuable information on this one. It's going to be kind of unrelated to dropshipping, but it's going to be applicable to pretty much all industries across the board. I feel like I can speak on this pretty well because I have at least 10,000 DMs that I've gotten in the past like 6 months, and I've seen where people go wrong, and I've seen certain things you can do to definitely get your actual message to the receiver. Like, because there's been some new updates with Instagram actually, so, and a lot of you aren't even aware of this, especially, I don't know if it's a full update, but they gave me some update in the DMs that they're testing right now, and this is what's gonna lay out soon. So all of these rules that I'm about to lay out are extremely applicable right now and also in the future. So I'm just gonna get right into it. I would really encourage you guys to listen to this advice and definitely follow it. So let's get right into it. Now again, before this video, I just want to preface this. This is only what I've seen in my DMs and what I haven't seen in my DMs too, which is key for what I'm about to talk about. So I can only speak from my experience, but following these rules will basically guarantee they at least see your message. So my first rule is to never reply to a story if you're actually trying to get a message across. I see many people, they try to respond to my story and they try to ask me like a long question. The issue with that is when you reply to the story on my end, on the DMs, it said the entire message, like the preview of the message is reply reply to story ... and then it cuts off your entire message. So if you're trying to message me something and it's a reply to a story, or if you're trying to message anybody for that matter, and to reply to the story, all they're gonna see is that you replied to the story. They're not gonna see any of the words that you included. So me personally, I don't open too many DMs. I'm actually changing this soon. I'm gonna dedicate about 1 to 2 hours every single day to replying to you guys. But the reason I don't open too many DMs anymore is because I don't wanna leave someone unseen and not answer their question. Because I get a lot of questions about Facebook ads, and like it's draining replying to everybody saying, listen, I can't, you know, I don't know your cost per purchase. I don't know what you're getting the product for. I don't know what your website looks for. I don't know what your budget is. I don't know what you're putting into the ad spends. I don't know if you're using CBOs. There are so many factors. So things like that, or like someone like wanting to partner up and I don't really want to partner up with them, because I don't really partner up with many people at all. I've only partnered with 2 people in my entire life. I don't want to leave those people unseen, and I definitely don't want to reply with no, because then they're going to be like, why not? And then we're probably going to end in an argument. So I try to avoid all of that. Again, I'm working on that on myself. That's something I'm definitely going to work on, like dedicating 1 to 2 hours. I just feel really bad leaving someone unseen when they message me something like that. So boom, that's first rule. Never reply to story if you're actually trying to send a message. Okay, and then this is kind of a new feature. Again, I don't know if this is across all Instagrams. I just know that Instagram asked me if I wanted to update my software in order to test this. But this is definitely how it's going to be across the board, if not already. Never send more than 1 message, okay? Because when you send more than one message, again, this doesn't really apply. This is if the person has already replied to you, okay? I just want to make that clear, because if you're in the message request, you can send as many messages as you want, and they'll still open it and see them all, and it'll still show like the preview. Now, if someone's already replied to you and you are in their inbox, if you send more than 1 message, now it comes up as 2 new messages. It doesn't show like the first 50 characters of whatever that message is that entices them to open it. It shows 2 new messages. So from my standpoint, I don't really want to open those because I don't know what I'm about to get into, I don't know what's on the other line of there. It might be an argument. It might be something that I'm going to have to deny or something. Just overall, it's like I have no inclination to click this and find out what it is, because there's nothing enticing me to open it to begin with. So when I just see like 9+ new messages, it's like I already feel bad enough not replying to the person, but to open that up and then scroll through all 9 messages and then just like having to worry about like, oh, sorry, I didn't reply to this, and like answer all those questions and answer his most recent questions, and I just personally don't want to deal with that, and I feel like a lot of people who get DMs don't want to deal with that either. So definitely, if you're already in the inbox, only send 1 message at a time. So that's a perfect transition into this next tip. When you're sending a DM, I see this mistake a lot. The first 50 characters, or however many is fitted into the preview when you're looking at the messages, that is where you should put the most important stuff right there, because in the message request and in the primary inbox, that's what's going to entice the receiver to open your message. If it's something that is going to make them want to open it, then they're going to open it. Now, I want to say, I wouldn't try to trick people. I've had people try to trick me like, you're being sued. Hey buddy, just joking about that. I have a question about Facebook ads, and it's like, okay, if you do that, I definitely don't even want to respond to you, because it's like, okay, you just made me feel a bad feeling. And it's like, yeah, it's smart because I'm gonna open it, but I'm not gonna reply to that just because like you're not being real with me. When you send a message, you want to make sure that it's actually a quality message and it benefits the receiver. I've literally had someone message me before and it said, hey Scott, I literally have nothing at all to offer you, but I was wondering if you could mentor me. I'm like, and then he just like explained the situation, how he doesn't want to go to college. It's like, you can't start off a message by saying you literally have nothing to offer me. What do I have to gain from mentoring you? I'm not trying to say that in a selfish way. I'm just saying, like, I get the request like, can you be my mentor? Can you be my mentor every single day? But you gotta put yourself in my shoes, and again, anyone you're DMing shoes. What mutual benefit? That's where it's key. Like, there has to be a mutual benefit. So when you're messaging someone, definitely remember that. Like, especially the beginning of the message, start off with how this will benefit them. Like, if you guys read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, that changed my entire life. There's literally an entire chapter about this. Speaking into the others' benefits, Dale Carnegie even cites this like one letter that they sent to this train company, and it was the whole letter was all about them. They didn't even respond. Then they rephrased it where it was basically all about by the train company, you know, about the train company, and they responded, and then they ended up making a deal, because the world isn't made to help you. You have to help others in order to help yourself. That's just the way it goes. Ooh, okay, so this one is this one I see a lot, and this is a huge mistake. And I'm sorry, but I don't understand why people would think this would even work. I get these messages a lot. All right, hey, hi Scott. Hey Scott, can I ask you a question? And then the same guy, Scott, I was wondering if I could really ask you a question. A couple days later, hey Scott, I really have an important question to ask you. You should have asked, if it was really important, you should have asked this three messages ago. No one's gonna respond to hey. No one's gonna respond to hi. No one's gonna respond to I have a question. No one's gonna respond to hey, can I ask you something? Put that out of your brain. Do not send those messages to anyone ever, because I promise you 99.9% of the time, if they have any sort of real following, they are not gonna respond, because they're not gonna waste their time being like, yeah, what kind of question do you have? No, there's probably a lot of DMs flowing in their inbox, and they only really reply to the ones that entice them and the ones they feel important. They're not gonna find hello or I have a question important at all. I'm sorry, no matter who you are, it won't matter. You just have to ask your question, and if it's an important question, you'll have the confidence to ask it, not bait somebody into responding so they can get into the inbox so they can ask their question. It's stupid. Sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody, but really, that's really dumb for you to do. Just be straight up. So yeah, adding on to that, keep it simple. Keep it simple, guys. Simplify it. That's my life mantra, and apparently that's Rob Klein's life mantra too, the guy who invented the credit card. That's what he said at the Penthouse Mastermind. My life mantra is simplify, which is hilarious because I was wearing my clothing brand Simplify at the time. Yeah, keep it simple. I wouldn't send a message to anybody like raw, straight from the get-go, like trying to get a response or whatever. That's more than the length of your screen when the keyboard's up. So I'm talking like this. Keep it into like 6-7 lines. I have never once read a huge paragraph. People have sent me huge paragraphs like this big. I'm not taking the time to read that. If it's that complicated, I don't want to know about it. If you can't unless they catch my attention at the very beginning, which is extremely rare, but if you can't simplify it into something like this, then I really don't want any part of it, because it's way too complicated, and I don't want to spend all the time reading through your entire paragraph when I got plenty of other DMs that are straight to the point. I made this mistake too back in the day. Like I was looking at when I was first DMing Ty Lopez in 2016, and I was like, you know, my parents don't believe in me. Like, you guys can look up this video of Ty Lopez actually scrolling through me and his chats. Like, it was crazy because you can see the progression. I was like, I just bought your program, this is social media marketing. My parents don't believe in me, and then I got into dropshipping way later, and then I was like messaging him. But I'd send these huge paragraphs, like 3 paragraphs at a time, and it's like, no wonder he didn't respond. Like, why? He definitely didn't read that, so why would he respond to something he didn't read? Keep it simple, keep it short. I promise you, you're gonna see people reply to you like never before. Okay, I wish I could give credit to who I learned this from, but there's something called circus tenting. It's when you have a unique feature about yourself so that when you tell it to someone, it circus tents you up, like sending up a circus tent. So like when they think of you now, they think of boom, this thing, boom, now you're in their memory. You can apply that to DM. So like for me, example, I wanna go to North Korea and I wanna go to Antarctica. That's circus tenting. Like if someone finds out I went to North Korea, they're gonna think of Scott, oh yeah, that kid who went to North Korea. Or like right now my personal circus tents are like the Ty Lopez Association, or like the Oberlo articles, or like the collaboration with Jared Getz. Like all these things, the more circus tenting you have, the better, because you can apply those into the DM. So like if you're DMing someone and you have a certain connection or you've done something certain crazy, mention that, because that's what's gonna make you stand out from everybody else, and it has to be stuff that most people haven't done. Like you just can't say like, I got a 3.5 GPA or something like that. That's not circus tenting. Millions of people have gotten a 3.5 GPA. It's something unique that's only to you, you know? So that is a key to at least getting in the heads of someone you're trying to DM and into their memory. All right, last but not least, this one is very important, and I've seen mixed things on this, but I'm gonna tell you my raw truth. Never, ever send a video or audio to someone, especially raw. Me personally, I have never once opened, one person only I've ever opened an audio clip from. If you send me an audio clip, I am not listening to it. I guarantee you I am not listening to it, because I want to look at what you're saying. If it doesn't interest me, move on. If it does, reply. I'm not gonna sit there and hold the speaker up to my ear, even if I'm in a loud restaurant, and like listen to you talk for like a minute and a half. No, I want to know what you're about, what you're trying to say right away, right when I see it, and if it's not there, I move on. Furthermore, if you send a video to someone and you're not already in their primary inbox, it literally shows up as a gray box saying da-da-da sent your video. Therefore, in order for me to see your video, I have to accept you into my inbox, therefore putting you on scene. So if you send me a bullshit video that I'm not interested in, then I'm gonna feel bad for leaving you on scene. So I actually avoid that entire thing, and I never open a video that someone has sent me. I'm not gonna do that, because again, I don't like leaving people on scene. It just makes me feel bad. So if whatever you're trying to say has to be communicated in an audio or a video, me personally, and probably most people, I'm never gonna see it. I'm just never gonna see it, because I'm not gonna listen to your audio and I'm not gonna watch your video when I got tons of other people sending me plain old text that I can just look at, reply or not reply. So these tips you'll find valuable. Those of you who apply them, you'll definitely see better results than you've ever seen with getting responses from influencers, or just in general people who get a lot of DMs. This is how you stand out. Just all these tactics alone will circus tent you. So that's just one circus tent alone. But remember these, be sure to just go through the video, listen to it again. If you have any questions, just leave them below in the comments. And again, please be sure to hit like. That's what helps my channel out so much. I've been, and then just a quick mention, I've been really thinking about just Gary Vee. It's like this, Gary Vee, this is the most important advice I've ever heard from Gary Vee in my entire life. And it changed my outlook on what I'm doing. He was on the phone with this kid from Australia, and he was an influencer, and Gary Vee's advice, his one piece of advice was, start making content you don't think will do well. And that just blew my mind, because if you guys look at the beginning, I was having a ton of fun with these videos, just having tons of fun with it, and then that's how I was growing. And then as I progressed, I started realizing now there's 35,000 plus eyes on my channel. So I'm being very meticulous. I'm being very cautious with what I say, what I do, being very detailed, being making videos and not putting them out because I don't think they're good enough. I'm done with all that. From now on, I'm just making content. Whether it's gonna go good or not, doesn't matter, because there's been some videos that I didn't think would do well, and they've scaled to tens of thousands of views. You really never know, especially with YouTube's algorithm, you just never really know what people will receive as good or not. Like Gary Vee's blueberry video is one of his most popular videos ever, and that he took his own advice. So that's what I'm looking to. I'm gonna make videos that I like making, and I think that's where it comes down to. I'm gonna keep having fun, I'm gonna keep doing what I wanna do, and I'm gonna keep helping out those who wanna be helped, not people who are hard-headed and think that even though they got no results, they know how to do it. Don't be those people. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.